Not all of us are blessed to have 4 or 5 Galactic Legends in our account, but today we're going to be showing you some squads that we can use to counter Galactic Legends and some other high-end squads as well for Territory Wars. Not only Territory Wars, you'll be able to use these in GAC as well. But let's jump in this video. Let's show you these squads, talk about them, and we'll break them down for you, give you some information that you can use for Territory Wars or GAC. So here we are inside of my SeaGamer76 account. And it is a 7.5 million Galactic Power account. Let me show you what the actual lookup it is right here. So on this account, I only have 2 GLs. And that is the Sith Eternal Emperor, Jedi Master Kenobi. And then we've got a whole bunch of other squads in here as well. But what we're going to be looking at today are some squads that we can use inside of Territory War. You know, a lot of us are not so blessed to have, you know, multiple GLs on our accounts, or we might be a free-to-play account, or whatever the case may be. We may be limited on the number of GLs that we actually have in our account. But today, I want to give you some squads that you can use to counter GLs, and also double-tap GLs as well inside of Territory Wars. Not only Territory Wars, but they are also useful inside of GAC also. So let's jump down here to squads real quick. So as you can see, one of the first squads in my primary go-to when it comes to countering Jobby. I don't have, you know, SLKR. I only have my Jedi Master Kenobi, but I typically leave him on defense when it comes to Territory Wars. On offense, I do use him on offense inside of GAC. But the main thing I use for countering Jobby is Darth Traya. She does have her Omicron ability. We've got Sidious with his Omicron ability as well. That is for Territory Wars, but let's look at that real quick. So while in Territory Wars, if all allies are Sith at the start of battle, other allies gain max health equal to half of Darth Sidious' potency. So they get a health boost and in accordance with the amount of potency he has. And then also whenever Darth Sidious uses demoralizing blows, the cooldown of this ability is reduced by 1 for each other Sith and ally, and Darth Sidious gains 50 speed that stacks for 4 turns. So let's get out here. I really don't have him modded very well. So right out the bat, his speed is already 278. So whenever he uses demoralizing blows, he's going to get a speed boost of 50. So that just makes him that much more faster. So going from 278 the first time he uses demoralizing blows, that is going to go ahead and pump him up to around 328 is what he's going to be receiving from using that ability. But let's just go back to our Traya squad real quick. If you notice, my Traya squad is Traya, of course, Sidious. I do have Sith Empire Trooper in here because I do not have Scion. Scion is actually a better spot for here, but I do use Sith Empire Trooper simply because he has a pre-taunt. I do use him in the side of this group a majority of the time. My other account has Scion, and I do use Scion over there because I use my Sith Empire Trooper in my Darth Revan group. Talon is not a must for this squad. You can pretty much stick any other Sith inside of this group, but I do use her whenever I'm using GAC. I stick her inside of the group for Traya. That way I have her available for Traya. I do have her Omicron ability as well. But the main one we're going to be looking at is Darth Nihilus. Darth Nihilus has an insta-kill, and that is what we're going to be using when we're going up against Jobby by taking out Chrysanthemum. So when Darth Nihilus uses his insta-kill, Chrysanthemum cannot res, so we don't have to worry about Jobby resing Chrysanthemum, getting another taunt back up, and throwing off our attack. Also, whenever they attack out of turn, they're going to be reducing their health every single out of turn. And a lot of times, what happens is I'll end up using my demoralizing blow, and I'll be taking out Boba Fett, taking out Leia, and a lot of times you can take out Lando as well with just one demoralizing blow hit because they've gone so many times out of turn, it drops their health so low. And in the end, you end up with just Jobby left, and then you can use a cleanup squad to finish up Jobby with a 2-tap. I also use this Traya group to get rid of Grand Inquisitor squads now that Reva is showing up more and more often inside of GAC. Inside of Territory Wars, I can use Darth Nihilus, insta-kill her. She cannot res anymore, so that takes care of her. In the event that they get a tank in there like Nightsister getting torn up, I'll take out Nightsister. Or if what I'll do is isolate Nightsister so the tank cannot taunt, then I'll insta-kill either Reva if she's in the group. If not, I'll insta-kill Grand Inquisitor, then slowly finish off the rest of the group without any issue whatsoever. And then that brings us to the Inquisitor group, Grand Inquisitor is a lot easier to get now. You're going to throw second sister, ninth sister, seventh sister, and fifth brother in that group. And you're going to be able to counter a lot of work on GLs. You're going to be using them in a lot of different comps. That way you can take down a really high-end squads, because Inquisitors, once you get Grand Inquisitor up and get his abilities unlocked, as you can see, I do not have Grand Inquisitor unlocked currently because I do not have my Inquisitor squad up to snuff yet, but that is going to be one of my focuses for later on down the road. That way I can use them inside of Territory Wars and GAC also. But you can use them to counter a lot of GLs. They work really great. A lot of squads cannot take them down whatsoever, other than Treya, which is very simple, just a really easy counter. Two Inquisitors, you can run them on defense, or you can run them on offense, and we'll get to the defensive squads in just a minute. A lot of these overlap in the event that you can use them for offense or defense as well. Next up on our list, we have Nightsisters. A lot of people don't put a lot of stock in Nightsisters, but with the introduction of marj into the group, it makes Nightsisters just absolutely dangerous, with the ability from Night Zombie getting that tank, dropping Night Zombie down. Marj's abilities, I use her quite often inside of GAC as well. Even though I don't have her to 7 stars yet, currently working on her, trying to get her to 7 stars, getting her rallied up. That way I'll have her for GAC. But not only inside of GAC, she works extremely well inside of Territory Wars also. A lot of squads cannot counter her anymore because of marj being added to this group. Really good use against. Marj does so much damage by applying Mass Plague to groups and squads that are not affected by max health damage. The Plague just absolutely walks all over them, ignores that protection, and just slowly whittles down their health until they have nothing left. And marj and the Nightsisters just do work all the way around against a majority of squads. I use them, like I said, inside of GAC. I do have Ventress's Omicron ability, which restores protection to the entire group. I ran across a marj group the other day inside of GAC. I got absolutely walked the dog on, and they laid the waste to my Relic 9 Darth Revan and my Relic 9 Malik as well. So Nightsisters with marj can make any group top tier and be a valuable asset to you inside of Territory Wars and GAC also. The next group we're going to be looking at is CLS. CLS is not quite as good as he used to be, but he is an easy squad to get. You know, getting CLS, getting 3PO, getting Chewbacca, Han Solo, and 3PO and Chewie. They're going to be a really nice cleanup crew against GLs. Not only that, you can use them to take down various different squads. For example, like Gas. You know, Gas is a little bit more difficult to get than CLS is. You can use that, you know, CLS group to take down Gas, clean up a lot of different GLs like Jobby and others as well, because Han gets that first shot ability and they just go absolutely nuts, you know, just with that turn meter train, just constantly attacking, and you'll be able to get down a various amount of squads using a CLS group. All right, next group we're going to be looking at right here is, of course, Imperial Troopers. Imperial Troopers are just so versatile in a lot of different places. Again, I use them for GL cleanup a lot of the times. Because of Dark Trooper, I want to get my Dark Trooper up a lot higher than what he is. He's only Relic 5 currently. I at least want to get him to Relic 8 because he is going to be your major damage dealer out of the group. Not only that, it increases his health as well. But having Veers in there, getting Piet at Relic 9 because I have him for my Executor. Dark Trooper, I want to get up to Relic 8. But even with a low Gear 12 Moff Gideon and a Range Trooper that is only Gear 12 as well, I can just absolutely lay waste to a lot of different squads inside of Territory Wars, clean up inside of GAC as well. So Troopers, if you haven't gotten them yet, if you haven't started working on them yet, I would really suggest getting these squads upgraded, because Imperial Troopers do so much work. In the case of ones like Iden as well, Iden is another good Imperial Trooper group that you should be working on also. The final group is we're going to be looking at right here is our Emperor Palpatine Mara Jade group. I do have Mara Jade's Omicron ability, so let's pop on her real quick and we'll show you exactly what it does. So let me scroll up here real quick. So while in Territory Wars at the start of the battle, if the enemy leader is not a Gladiator Legend, they lose 100% protection, 50% magic protection, and marj gains 100% turn meter. I've used this squad so many times, even without Star Killer, to take down squads like, you know, Gas or other ones as well, because once she gets rolling, and Palpatine gets rolling as well. They cannot be stopped. If there's anything that does not slow down a turn meter train, they would just walk through an entire group just simply by having her Omicron ability there. Removing that protection on the leader, as long as they're not a Galactic Legend. I use them a lot as well to take down Galactic Legend. Rey works really well when we have Star Killer in this group. So let me pop out of here real quick. Go back and let you look at Star Killer. The really major plus to using this group inside of Territory Wars as Juhani. Let's pop over here. We got her ability. What makes Juhani so special inside of Territory Wars is her Omicron ability inside of this group with Emperor Palpatine and the rest of the group. But at the start of battle, Juhani taunts for 2 turns. Then Juhani and a random dark side unaligned force ally, excluding Empire, First Order, and Galactic Legends, and a random light side unaligned force shooter, excluding Galactic Legends. They gain redeemed until Juhani is defeated, which cannot be copied, dispelled, or prevented. So let's just scroll down real quick and show you what that is. So what happens when she applies redeemed is she applies 35 speed whenever ally with redeemed uses ability during the turn. All other allies with redeemed assist. So you're going to be using mass assist beside the assist that come from using Emperor Palpatine. So there we go. We got assist in there. And whenever an ally with redeemed gains a buff, it dispels all debuffs on allies with redeemed. So we're going to be having dispels to get rid of debuffs on our group. And then whenever an ally with redeemed is damaged by an enemy, all allies with redeemed gain 50% turn meter. So we're going to be increasing our turn meter to every individual in the group that has redeemed. Not only that, whenever allies redeemed is afflicted with a debuff, again, they're going to recover 15% protection. So having Juhani inside of a group for Territory Wars with the Omicron ability is going to make this group that much stronger. A lot of times people use this group on defense, but depending on your individual guild, they might have you using on offense as well. Okay, so now let's look at some defensive squads that we can use inside of Territory Wars also. As I said, a lot of these squads can be used on offense or defense. Our first one, of course, is going to be General Grievous with the Omicron ability on Droidica. This is what I put on defense every single time inside of our Territory Wars for our guild. It does so much work. It takes a lot of effort to get this group down, even though my B2 battle droid is only gear 12. Getting that Droidica Omicron ability is going to serve you well in the long run. Not only that, you can use this group on offense as well, but it is better served when it is sitting on defense. Our next group that we're going to be looking at is our Bug group. Throwing that Omicron ability on Poggle the Lesser is going to serve you well, even though this group is only gear 12 for the majority, even though Sunfac is only gear 11. This group has held so many squads off just by simply having that Omicron on Poggle, and you can use them inside of GAC. They're not quite as effective on defense as they are inside of Territory Wars, but this group will serve you extremely well and hopefully will get you a lot of holds inside of Territory Wars. The next group we're looking at is once again Palp, marj, Star Killer, Mar, and Juhani. Again, Juhani's Omicron ability is what really makes this group stand out on defense. Again, it does work on offense as well, but a majority of guilds will want you to stick your Palp Juhani group on defense because it makes this group extremely tough by adding her to the mix. Again, on GAC, I've quit putting my Palpatine and Star Killer group on defense, using it for offense because with some of the buffs and with the Datacron that has been added to Rey, it makes her extremely tough. And even though my Star Killer is only Relic 2, I can absolutely wreck a Galactic Legend Rey with this simple Emperor Palpatine group. You can swap in Juhani if you want to use her inside of GAC, but any Jedi will work. A lot of people swap in Oban, Juhani, or any other Jedi to take the place of her. Juhani, like I said, just gear her up. That way you can use her inside of GAC and Territory Wars also. Then our final defensive group is a Galactic Republic group with Padme lead. A lot of times now I do not have this group available because I use Mace Windu and I use General Kenobi with my Jedi Master Kenobi. But the main goal right here is looking at Mace Windu, and that is his Omicron ability. And what happens inside of Territory Wars is the fact that at the start of each of the light side allies' turn, a random enemy, excluding Galactic Legends, is inflicted with speed down and Shatterpoint. And what Shatterpoint does is every time Mace hits a target that has Shatterpoint, You're going to be lowering their health until you can just whittle them down, and it's going to cause so much problems for a lot of groups that are dependent upon high health to make that group successful. So getting this shatter point down every single time is going to cause that group just to get whittled down slowly. And not only that, anytime an ally is damaged or when an ally damages an enemy with shatter point, all allies recover 10% protection, and all Galactic Republic Jedi allies gain foresight for 1 turn. So with foresight, they're going to be that much harder to hit. So they're going to be taking less damage. And then right here, again, back inside of Territory Wars, again, we're going to be looking at speed down, shatter point. And when an ally damages the enemy with shatter point, all allies gain 5% turn meter. So we're going to be adding turn meter to the entire group every time shatter point is attacked or a target is attacked with shatter point. A lot of these squads have fairly simple squad requirements. Not only that, they have fairly simple farm requirements as well, and they will serve you really well in the long run. And not only that, they will ultimately lead you to Galactic Legends that you can add a lot of these different members of these groups to those Galactic Legends squads for use later on down the line. Once you've unlocked someone like Sith Eternal Emperor or Jedi Master Kenobi, you're going to be picking apart your squads anyway. But until you get those squads done, these will serve you well in the long run for Territory Wars, for GAC, get you some defenses, and help your guild out along the way. Anyway, guys, hope you take some advice from this video. If you have any suggestions for some squads that I maybe have left out, leave them down in the comment section below. But hope you enjoyed this video. Hope you learned something from it, which is the main thing. But until next time, much love, peace out, and we'll see you in the next one.